Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we're going to talk about Doctor Who and what parts of Doctor Who have you been most excited about this year, be it something that's already released or something that's coming in 2021. What's really had you fired up and excited and happy to be a Doctor Who fan? Now, of course, as the title of the video shows, my main question is, are you more excited about the release of Season 17 from the Classic series, which of course is a Tom Baker season, or Series 13, the upcoming new series with Jody Whittaker's Doctor? But also this question incorporates other things, encompasses other things, like maybe you're most excited about Evil of the Daleks being animated. One, because it's nice to be able to actually see Evil of the Daleks in a physical medium. Two, because the animation for Evil of the Daleks is extremely well done. Maybe you're really excited about the special edition of Web of Fear. Maybe it's Time Lord Victorious for some reason. Or maybe it's some of the Big Finish stuff that you've really been looking for. Maybe you're really excited to have Christopher Eccleston back as the Ninth Doctor in Ravagers and all the other Big Finish stuff he's doing, because that's a really big deal. I'm trying to find out kind of what's your number one thing this year you have been truly excited about. Maybe it was getting Season 8, maybe it was getting Season 24, especially Season 8, because that was a shock. I didn't think we'd get it this soon, but it's nice to have it for the 50th anniversary of the Master. You know, kind of not your number one thing, and then other things you've been really excited about. Like me, I don't know if I have a number one thing. I'm always excited about a new collection box set, so I was really excited about Season 8. I was really excited about Season 24, especially since they both contained stories I hadn't seen yet. I'm really excited about Season 17. I liked getting the Web of Fear Special Edition just to have that complete, and I love the Steelbook. Really happy I got Evil of the Daleks. I've always wanted to see Evil of the Daleks ever since I watched Power, because I loved Power. And I knew Evil was held in similar regard. I knew Evil was written also by David Whittaker, who wrote Power. So I really wanted to see Evil after that. And plus, I love the fact the animation was done so well for it. So that was a really big deal for me. And of course, I've been really fired up about Season 17. Ever since it was first rumored, I've been excited about it. I love Tom Baker. I'm a huge Tom Baker fan. So anytime he gets a new box set out, I'm just over the moon about it. And then we got the announcement trailer, which I really liked, and all of the extras coming with it, getting Shada in episodic form. I'm really over the moon. And then they do an announcement for Series 13, and I'm just kind of... It feels so anticlimactic to me. Not the actual marketing. I like the way they're doing the marketing. I like that they're taking a less is more approach and that they're not really giving us a lot of info. I love the idea of going into Series 13 blind, because I am going to watch it. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate the Whittaker era. Let me make that clear. I think it's my least favorite era of Doctor Who. I think Series 11 is the weakest season in all of Doctor Who. I think Jody is the weakest Doctor in all of Doctor Who. But I do not hate her, and I do not hate her era. Let me be perfectly clear. But maybe it's because there's so much going on with Classic Who right now, and Classic Who gets so much more of a marketing push in 2021, which is really weird. That I'm just more fired up about all that everything with Series 13 has just kind of got lost in the shuffle with so much else going on. I was happy when we got the Series 8 Steelbook early in the year, even if I was a little disappointed with the Series 8 artwork, even though it does look better in person. But I like the less is more approach, and I hope they continue to do that and don't give too much away. I would love to be able to watch this, what's basically amounts to 6 episodes of a single long story, kind of like Classic Who, I guess. And see what happens as it unfolds and not really know what's going to happen. That's kind of neat, and I like that. But maybe it's just I've been kind of disappointed with the Chibnall era, as much as I enjoyed most of Series 12. 'Cause I do maintain Series 12 has some really good stories, a lot of really good stories. The Tesla episode's better episode than Vincent and the Doctor, in my opinion. But just as a whole, and then as much as I like Jody Whittaker and other stuff, I've never connected with her as the Doctor, and this is the biggest failing. Even more so than the writing, even though the writing is partly responsible for it, the biggest failing of the Chibnall era is I just never felt like I have connected with Whittaker's Doctor. And I don't think it's because of her gender either. I know some people make these weird claims about they connect better with a character because of their race or their gender, or I want to have a black Superman because I can't identify with a white Superman, or I've got to have a female, doctor because as a woman I identify more with a female doctor. I'm not gonna lie, I find that whole argument nonsense. But for the sake of argument, let's say that's how it is, and you're a female Doctor Who fan, and you like Jodie Whittaker, and you like where the show's at because you like having a female doctor because as a woman it's easier for you to connect with that character. You know what? That's fair. I will accept that. I am willing to accept you connect with that character better because you're a woman and she's a woman. However, if you feel that way, you don't have the right to then turn around and criticize one of the male fans who is upset that we don't have a male doctor anymore because that male fan feels like he connected better with the doctor because the doctor was a man. You see? If you connect better with a female doctor because you're a woman, you don't have the right to criticize a male fan because he connects better with the doctor for being male. Because that's an extremely hypocritical thing to do. I got off on a tangent there. But, personally, I think that's all silly. But, I don't like double standards. It's a huge thing for me. I hate double standards. Getting back to the main issue, which is kind of got lost in my head. It's not because of her gender at all that I haven't connected with her. She just doesn't feel like the Doctor most of the time. I've mentioned several times in several videos that the only time I've ever connected with the 13th Doctor is in a short story by Stephen Moffat. And of course it would be Stephen Moffat, because when Moffat's on his A game, he writes some of the best Doctor Who. And that's his story, The Terror of the Umpty-Ums, because the 13th Doctor in that story is the Doctor. She feels like the Doctor. Her comments, her actions she takes, the way she talks, she feels like the Doctor. And there are the occasional moments in the show where she'll have a doctory moment that I like when she was facing down the Dalek in Resolution of the Daleks. I liked that. I liked some of her stuff in Resolution of the Daleks in the first one, and then Revolution of the Daleks. I like some of the stuff she did there. I like a couple of her moments in the pilot story, her very first story, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. She has a couple moments I like. I very much love when she's making her sonic screwdriver and she finds the spoon and has that very doctory smile on her face. Oh, if I ever meet a woman that smiles at me the way the Doctor smiles at a spoon. But most of the time I don't connect with her. What I got really put off in Can You Hear Me at the end, when Graham is trying to have that serious talk with her about his cancer, and she just kind of closes off and doesn't know what to say and doesn't say anything, and then says that bit about we're going to pretend I knew what to say. Like, as much as I like Can You Hear Me, it's a really good story. It has a Deus Ex Machina ending because it doesn't have enough time to execute properly. But that ending kind of made my jaw hit the floor because that's not the Doctor. The Doctor's the kind of person who, like the second Doctor in Tomb of the Cybermen, when he sits down with Victoria and talks to her about her dad, and he talks about his family and how he misses them, and, he thinks of them but only when he wants to, and the rest of the time they sleep in his mind. And he says that bit about, that's the exciting thing. No one in the universe can do what we're doing. He's comforting her to make her feel better. That's what the Doctor does to me. And some doctors do that to a different degree than others. Tom Baker's a little more stoic, but he still has that caring that you can still feel how he cares about his companions. You can feel the relationship between him and Sarah. I love in the Hand of Fear when they're walking, and there's like, well, I worry about you. Well, I worry about you too. Well, you be careful. We'll both be careful. It's such a touching moment, and I love it. Or anytime Jo is struggling with the third Doctor, he's always there to comfort her. So, and I don't always get that with how 13 treats her companions a lot of times, when she's very stern with them, when she doesn't let them in. And I'm not saying the Doctor doesn't always do that. The 7th Doctor kept a lot to himself. But it just doesn't feel right with 13. I just never quite felt like I connected with her Doctor on a fundamental fan level. As someone who's been watching this show since he was about 3 or 4 years old, and I've been watching Doctor Who longer than I have living memory. I don't even know which Doctor was my first, to be certain. It's either the 3rd or the 4th, I'm pretty sure. But it's the only time in my life I've never connected on some level with a Doctor. Even Colin, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of him growing up, I could connect with his Doctor on some levels. And her, other than the Terror of the Umpty-Ums, I don't click with her. And I think that's my big issue. Part of that is due to the writing. Part of that is due to possibly the directing. Part of that is just down to how Jodie plays the role. And I've never connected with her. And so I am way more excited about season 17 than series 13. And that's the primary reason. I've seen a lot of people on the comments to both videos, the season 17, the series 13, and I saw one that jumped out at me. One person was on the season 17 trailer a couple days before the 13 one dropped, and he's like, I saw a trailer and clicked, and now I'm pissed. I'm like, and literally my immediate reaction was, are you stupid? Which is a terrible reaction to have. I shouldn't have that. I should have been more understanding. But my knee-jerk reaction was, are you stupid? It's an advertisement for a Tom Baker season. Why would you rather watch a trailer for a Jody Whittaker season? Jody Whittaker? Tom Baker? I mean, we're talking literally what I consider to be the bottom of the pile versus the top of the pile. Because I do consider Tom Baker to be kind of the gold standard. To me, Tom Baker is the doctor to which I measure every other doctor, which isn't really fair, to be honest, because not all doctors are the fourth Doctor. You know, they're all very different. Even the original first Doctor isn't like the fourth Doctor. Heck, even the season 3 version of the first Doctor isn't the same as the original first Doctor. So that's not really fair, but just in my mind, that's what I've always done in my life. To me, since Tom is really the one I identified most with as a kid, to me, that's how the Doctor's supposed to be. And that's the kind of doctor I like, and that's the doctor I measure all of the other doctors to in one degree or another. And, you know, Jody Whittaker doesn't measure up to Tom Baker in literally anything. I mean, Tom Baker is just miles away a better doctor. Just objectively, he's a better doctor. He's certainly a more popular doctor. I mean, here's the thing. Even if you're someone who only watches the modern series, because I get there are people out there, there are classic Who fans that don't watch the modern series, or did and now don't. And there are also fans that only watch the modern series just because, you know, they can't quite deal with the cheap effects and, you know, the old way things looked and that old cinematography and all that. I get it. You don't have to explain yourself to me. I get that there are a lot of people who love the modern show that just don't do the classic show. But even those fans have to at least know that Tom Baker is one of the well-regarded doctors. The fourth Doctor is a popular doctor. I think even most fans, when Doctor Who was popular here in the States, you know, back when Tennant and Smith were the Doctor, before it kind of started going down in popularity, you know, at least most of them that only watched the new show that I interacted with at cons, they knew the fourth Doctor was a popular Doctor, that he was a lot of people's favorites, and that he was really big during his run, and that he still held in a very on a very high pedestal by a lot of fans, rightfully so, honestly. So I can't understand why somebody would be literally pissed and writing in the comments that they were disappointed it was the season 17 trailer over the series 13 trailer. I cannot fathom that. Now, if you're someone who likes Jody Whittaker better than Tom Baker, that's fine. That's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I'm not one of these people that's going to be like, you're not a real fan, blah, blah. I'm not going to say all of that nonsense. If you like Jody Whittaker's Doctor, you like Jody Whittaker's Doctor. If she's your favorite Doctor, she's your favorite Doctor. I'm going to assume you've never seen any of the others, and that's fine. I recommend you do see some of the others, because it only goes uphill from there. But all of that's a joke, by the way. But not really. But, you know, if you like Jody Whittaker, you like her, that's fine. But I think to most of the fandom, I think Tom Baker is going to be held in high regard. He is considered one of the best doctors for a reason. He's so iconic in the role, and Tom Baker himself is considered a gem. You know, you see in comments where people talk about Tom Baker just being a living legend. He really is. There have been a lot of actors who have played the Doctor, but Tom Baker is the Doctor, because I really do consider the fourth Doctor being just Tom Baker being himself as the Doctor. Tom Baker truly is the Doctor. But, wow, I've really gotten on a tangent about this. I am way more excited about season 17. It has City of Death, which is my favorite story of all time. It has an episodic version of Shada split into 6 parts as originally intended, which is what I wanted. It has 2 Tom Baker episodes I've never seen before. That's going to be a real treat for me. It's got tons of extras I'm really excited about. Whereas Series 13 has more of Jody Whittaker. I do want to see it. Because who knows, it could blow me away. It could be really good. I will be the first to say that. It could be really good. Chibnall could have really put something together. Some other people from higher up may have stepped in and said, we need to do this, Chibs, to try to fix some of this, and made it better. I don't know. But I am trying to keep an open mind. I'm just not as excited about it as I am some of the other stuff coming, because I think at the end of the day, just these days, I prefer Classic Who. I love going back and watching Troughton. I love Troughton, watching Pertwee, watching McCoy. Gosh, just learning over the past couple years with these box sets how underrated the McCoy era is. I highly recommend people go and watch that. So, this is a very unorganized video. Let me know what you think of everything I have talked about and what you think of Season 17 and Series 13 and Evil of the Daleks and what you're most excited about in 2021 that's either come out or will be coming out. Comment down below and let me know. Other things to do, click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications so you never miss out on a new video. I also have a Patreon. If you like what I do and want to subscribe to what I do, there is a link to that down in the description below. Check that out. For the entire month of October, anyone who subscribes at any tier level or joins my Patreon at any tier level will get access to stuff usually reserved for a couple of the higher tiers, like access to videos I post. This includes outtakes, bonus videos, stuff about me, tours of my collection, stuff like that. I will be ranking the Doctors at some point this month. That will be a Patreon-only video series if you're interested in that. Most importantly, thank you for watching.